Hey, and we are live. So, warm welcome to each and everyone. Hello, greetings from every part of the world. So, those who are joining us from the live, uh, you can put your chat or comments there, definitely. So, my name is Phil, and we are doing our weekly uh, Wednesday Let Us Talk It Zipinar. So this is hosted by Cogent Integrated Business Solutions. They're an IT company based in Detroit, Michigan, who wishes to give back to the community and aims to add value through free knowledge sharing. Hence, they created this free knowledge sharing platform. Let Us Talk It Zipinar. And if you're wondering why it's Zipinar, not webinar, because it's the same thought, but we try to make it like a zipper to zip in two topics in one session. That's to shorten or to lessen the time consumed in acquiring information, but maximizes the knowledge and value that you get from the guest speakers that we invite, because information may be everywhere, but the experience itself and the knowledge of the guest or the seasoned professionals that we invite as guest speakers will add more value to what we hear in this platform. And if in case you missed this live sessions that we have, definitely you can check our recorded sessions and previous sessions in our Let Us Talk It YouTube channel. So feel free to do so. So my name is Phil, and I'm excited to tell you that we have two new topics and two new guest speakers right now that are very willing to share a precious portion of their time and their knowledge and experience into their platform for the benefit of the community. All right. So let's get started, definitely. So let me introduce the first topic that we have for today, which is timeless wisdom. So learning from age-old traditions for modern leadership. So ancient traditions offer valuable lessons for leadership and collaboration that are just as relevant today. And this session draws from time-honored wisdom to inspire modern leadership practices, and of course us attendees or anyone who will be watching or who's watching this session today will learn how to incorporate these teachings into their daily work, whether they are leaders or individual contributors, to enhance their decision making, inclusivity, and resilience. And to give us this topic is is the president of Aviu Coaching and has over 12 years of experience in leadership development, working with Fortune 500 companies across the globe. And as the president of Avia Coaching, she focuses primarily on coaching women in leadership and inspires new age leaders through her speeches and various events. And let us welcome none other than Yukta Hans for the first topic that we have for today.
Thank you so much, Phil. And good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are. Some of you are joining us from different parts of the world. So, hello and welcome to the session. And this week is especially special because this Thursday is the US Thanksgiving. How many of you are affected by US Thanksgiving? Either you have a holiday or you celebrate it, it's your time to meet your family. Can I see a raise of hands? You'll have to raise your virtual hand. So if you go on your screen, you see a raise hand button and you can raise your hand there. All right, quite a few people. Now, Thanksgiving is such a special moment because this is the time when we get together with our families. This is the time when we reach out to people who've impacted our lives. And one question that I always ask myself is that if there are people who are thinking of somebody they can thank, am I going to be on that list? Have I done anything to impact people's lives so that they can think of me and say, yes, there was a contribution by somebody in my life? Now, Thanksgiving is also a time that can fill your head with two things. One is being thankful to people who've contributed to your life. But the other is feeling that I did so much and I've contributed so much to the world. I am the one making the world better. And that is the story that I'm bringing to you today. So, I'm going to introduce to you something called the Bhagavad Gita in case you're not familiar with it. It is a 5,200-year-old Hindu scripture, and it's a part of something called Mahabharata. Now, this is the longest epic that has ever been written, the longest ever. And the plot is about this family feud over a kingdom. So there are two sets of cousins who are fighting for the kingdom and they are against each other. And that leads into a battle that lasts 18 days, but then it's gory. There's a lot of bloodshed. There are huge armies. They are fighting with each other for that kingdom, but also for what is right and what is wrong. There are two fractions of this family. One are called the Pandavas. There are five brothers who are our main characters, and they are fighting in this battle from the Pandavas side. And then you have the other side, which is the Kauravas. That has 100 brothers and a huge army. And these two fractions are fighting against each other. Now, in the battle, they are cousins, they are related to each other, they have the same set of relatives. Arjuna, who's our main character, and I'm going to show you a picture so you know what the scene looks like and who I'm talking about. This scene is exactly where the conversation happens that I'm bringing to you today. The person you see sitting is our character Arjun, and he is a part of the Pandavas, and he's one of the greatest warriors in the history. And the person standing in front of him is Krishna, who is the reincarnation of a divine of Sri Vishnu, who Hindus believe as God. Now, Krishna comes and he is playing the charioteer. He is not fighting in the war. He's the charioteer and he is guiding Arjun through the paths in the battle. Now, what happens? Arjun asks to be taken to the center of the battlefield on day one. Krishna says, okay. And he rides the chariot right to the center. Now, Arjun is standing there on his chariot, looking at everybody on the opposite side. And he says, I cannot fight against them. They are my brothers, they are my cousins, my teachers, my gurus, my uncles, my relatives, my grandfathers. How can I be responsible for killing them? How can I shed their blood? And he drops his bow. He refuses to fight. If you remember, when I started introducing the story, I told you that they were fighting for what was right, the righteousness, the dharma. He was standing for that, and he refused to fight. That's when Krishna stands up and he talks to Arjuna. And he shows him multiple things that we can learn from. And this book, which is 5,200 years old, is still believed to be one of the best leadership books ever. I have been a leadership development professional for 12 years. I still go back and pick up some lessons from there. But today I bring to you one lesson from the Bhagavad Gita, which is about why did Arjun have that dilemma? Why was he paralyzed by it? It was because of the simple thought that I am going to be responsible for everything. I am going to be responsible for the deaths. I am going to be responsible for all the bloodshed. Instead of telling him what to do or pushing him and forcing him, like a lot of leaders do when we say, I don't think I can do this work. A lot of leaders stand up and say, okay, you have to do this. This is the requirement of the business. Krishna stands up and helps him see the interconnectedness. And I'll give you an example. For those who probably drive a car, you think you drive a car to go from point A to point B. Now imagine the car does not have fuel. You have all the willingness to drive the car from point A to point B, but is the car going to move? it wouldn't. Now imagine you fill the fuel that's in your hands, you've got everything done. And now you live in North America and it snowed and you left your car outside. The next morning, the car refuses to turn on. You have all the willingness, you did everything that you needed to do, but the car doesn't turn on. Are you able to take it from point A to point B? That is the vision that Krishna gave Arjun in the battlefield at that moment. That you are not one individual operating and responsible for everything. There's this attachment that we feel with things that we do. We feel that I am responsible, which is why I should control everything. But there's only so much that we can do. There's this huge texture, there's this huge world, and we are just a part of it. And Krishna helps Arjun see that he's just a part of it. He has a small role in the whole thing, and there's a duty that he is here with. His duty as a warrior is to fight against what is wrong, and he should not be attaching himself to the results. Yes, they are his cousins, they are his relatives, they are his teachers. But when the person is standing on the opposite side and supporting what is wrong, and you are here fighting for what is right, then your responsibility as a warrior is much bigger than everything else. So Krishna talks to Arjun through all of these ideas, and that's when Arjun realizes that he is probably thinking great of himself. He is amplifying his own personality and believing that he is responsible for everything that could happen. But the moment he realizes that that is not so, he is not the doer, he's only a part of it. He says, okay, and he is ready to fight. And then he's only looking at his goal. His goal is to fight against what is wrong and establish what is right. And he goes through the war seamlessly. He fights, he kills a lot of people. So the son, the grandfather, the brother in him feels bad about it, but the warrior in him, he takes the duty forward and he fights. Now, what I am coming to is the systems thinking. Sometimes we have such tunneled vision where we think this is the input and this is the output. If I do this, this will be the result. This is the cause and this is the outcome. However, what we miss is to see that the world is huge and everything is connected to something else. And I'll give you an example. Now, suppose you, I, or anybody is a policymaker and we are making policies for our country, maybe taxes. The next section is about finance. So let's see how finance gets impacted. As somebody makes a policy about taxes, say for potatoes that are sold in the country, and this policymaker has either increased or reduced the taxes on the potatoes. Now, for a common man, all that it is going to impact is the business of potatoes. But if you look at it in the system, it's not only potatoes that are being impacted. You've reduced the taxes on potatoes. Now that's going to impact the other food that people consume because maybe now potatoes are sold more than they were. The other products that were being sold are now being sold lesser because the increase of consumption in potatoes has happened. And that's going to impact a lot of other things like the businesses. What are the shops going to sell? How many more businesses are going to come up who are going to sell more potatoes? That's going to impact people's jobs. That in turn is going to impact the money that is coming into economy. So if you think of it, the only change this person made was to taxes of potatoes being sold in this country. But that is impacting so many other things. That's impacting jobs, that's impacting the businesses, and that's impacting the economy. Now, that is the whole idea of systems thinking. Systems thinking is all the ways the real world operates. Every action that we do has consequences in different places. And we've got to be mindful. I'm not operating as an individual, I'm operating as a part of the larger system. What does it help me do? One is that it helps me look at all the other things that are being impacted. And that's especially important for people who are either already in leadership positions or have responsibilities that will take them to leadership positions tomorrow. Now, if I am impacting my team member, it's going to impact a lot of things. If I am a team leader, if I work with individuals, the way I treat them, the amount of work that they receive, they are going to talk about it to 10 other people. How is that going to impact the brand of my business? That will impact the number of people that want to join the organization that I'm working with, which in turn will impact the amount of work my company can get executed. That in turn will impact the amount of work that I can take. So, how do I treat my team member could go up to how is my business flourishing? Or how do I treat myself? If I believe that I'm an individual in this entire world and I am the doer, I am the person responsible and behind everything that is happening, then sometimes it also becomes difficult to reach out to others and collaborate because I am functioning on my own. I am an individual. So, how do I reach out to somebody else? Because I can't even see where these pieces are fitting. But when I look at the whole picture and I see the small pieces that work together, I stop reinventing the wheel. I reach out to somebody and I say, okay, this is what I'm doing. And I think what you do fits in very well with what I'm doing. And this way, we create a larger picture for the larger world. If you're familiar with butterfly effect, you would remember that butterflies flap their wing and something changes somewhere else, and it could reach up to a hurricane or a tornado happening somewhere else in the world just by a flap of a wing. And if you're not familiar with the concept, maybe go back, read this up. You will see what it means, the butterfly effect, and how it impacts different parts of the world. So that's the idea that I wanted to bring to you today. Arjun on the battlefield realized that he's a part of the larger system. And with that system's thinking, he went ahead, he was able to fight, he was able to collaborate with the right people that he needed to collaborate with and win the war. We are all living in a world where there's so much that's happening. There's AI, there's technology, and it's so easy for us to start feeling that I am alone responsible for things. I move my thumbs on my phone here and I change the world. But that's not really true. You move your thumbs on the phone because there's somebody who created this phone, and the messages that you're sending and the work that you're doing here is going somewhere else, and somebody else is acting on it. So it's so important for us to see the larger picture, to see the system, and think of when I make this one change, what are the things that are getting impacted? And how can I make the best decision so that the changes that are happening in the world are in the right direction and the result is that I'm making a world better. So that's what I wanted to share with all of you today. And I'll pause if there are any questions or any thoughts that anybody wants to share.
Thank you. That's very fascinating. It happens oftenly in workplaces. Like, if there is favoritism, and then that actually creates chaos because the others will then start to like rebel or go against the person who is receiving the favoritism. So
Absolutely. Bang on,
yeah.
Phil.
All right. So well, what a great topic, definitely. So anyone interested to put their questions or additional inputs in the chat, or you can raise your hand, definitely. And while we are waiting for the questions or the hand raise, I'd like to acknowledge we have Dr. Amanula on YouTube watching, said hello, and then Sanyam Singhal, and also Murtuza mentioned we are here for Aditi, and we have Anvesh. So yes, I have placed the Zoom ID in the comment if you wish to join in Zoom Live to ask questions directly. Definitely, uh, you can uh, join in. Anvish Saxena, looking to learn more about leadership from Yukta, definitely. Uh, it's very well organized and well explained how leadership is being brought, and whatever things that you do can impact bigger things. So yeah, very agreeable. We are just a portion or a small dot.
Thank you, Phil. So, if nobody has any questions, maybe sometimes you think about it, you get into a situation and you're like, now I don't know how to handle this. So, I offer coaching one on one. I also do leadership development trainings, and I go to events and I speak about various things related to leadership and resilience and so many other stuff. So, if you're interested and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm available on LinkedIn. My full name is Yukta Hans, or you could look for Avyukt Coaching. That's the organization that I run to help people, and that's been my passion for several years. And I absolutely love doing what I do. So, if any of you need any support in growing and developing yourselves, please don't hesitate to reach out.
All
Thank
right,
you.
that's definitely make sure you reach out, send a connection invite on LinkedIn, and yeah, learn more from Yukta, definitely. So she's very approachable, so you can just definitely just send her a drop message on LinkedIn. All right. So if anything comes up, just put it into chat. Definitely, Yukta will still be with us, so she can still answer the questions. So yeah, thank you, Nigel and Sim- Simeon. Thank you. All right. So shall we move to the next topic that we have for today? Okay. And again, thank you, Yukta, for that wonderful topic, the first part. And for the second part, we have growth in financial sector, exploring challenges and opportunities. So this topic, our speaker will share experience or experiences as a tax analyst and financial analyst, emphasizing on challenges and methods to overcome the obstacles, providing a holistic approach to make ourselves future ready in the evolving world of digital finance. And to give this topic is is currently working as a financial consultant with Infosys and have pursued a master's in business administration degree in finance from Willinkar Mumbai, and was recently awarded as the global tax expert of the year award by EY GDS, and is very passionate about writing and wrote promotional blogs and financial content and enjoy public speaking, and definitely loves to interact with anyone he comes to close with. And our speaker is a senior consultant for income tax at Infosys Private Limited. And let us welcome Aditi Pandey for the second topic.
Thank you so much, Phil. Thank you so much. Thank you, Yukta, for a wonderful session. It was really, really an informative one. We have taken lots of lessons from your session. I think now let's move on to the financial part. As you explained already about the taxation, I am amazed like how you indulged my topic as well in yours. So that is really commendable. Moving on to my topic. Firstly, thank you, Kojant and Phil for having me here. I will quickly share and let's get on to the financial part for the finance, all the finance enthusiasts that we have. And greetings from my side, wherever you are. Good morning, good evening to everyone. Let me just share my screen quickly. Phil, could you please confirm if my screen is visible to everyone?
Yes.
Moving on. So, hello everyone. I'll be presenting on how in today's sectors we have growth in financial sector, and what are the challenges that we are facing through. How are we exploring those challenges and all the opportunities that we have. So, in this particular topic, what we are covering is an overview of the financial sector. So, financial sector that includes nowadays is banking, insurance, investment services, and asset management. This financial sector plays a very crucial role in today's economy because it is facilitating the flow of capital and in enabling investments and growth. It is stabilizing businesses through lending, investment, and risk management. It is also fostering economic stability across the world by managing monetary policies and mitigating financial risks. Additionally, it also connects global markets, dividing innovations and trades. And nowadays, we are seeing an upsurge of the AI and a machine learning into this. So we'll be looking on to the growth trends in the financial market. So firstly, we have looking on to the growth trends. First, we have the market expansion. We know in today's market, we have an increase in global financial markets. We have stocks, we have bonds, we have insurance, and we have fintech. So over the past decades, the financial industry has been significantly growing, and it has been driven by digital transformation, including the risk of fintech, mobile banking, and blockchain technologies. There has been an increase in the adoption of AI and machine learning for risk management, for customer service, and for investment strategies. The sector that we are currently focusing has always seen a drastic shift towards sustainability and social responsibility. That is how we are seeing ESG coming into the notion. ESG, like we know, is environmental, social, and governance factors. This is becoming prominent day by day. Further ahead in my presentation, I'll be focusing on it. Then, I'm sorry for that. I'll just quickly share. So, as I've mentioned, we have seen a rise in fintech, blockchain, AI, and banking and financial services. Globalization is also playing a very important part here because nowadays we are seeing more connected financial markets. And that has been possible only because of the digitization and the international trade. Now, factors which are currently contributing to this existing growth is digital transformation. I am currently in India, and I would like to share an instance wherein I nowadays see every vegetable vendor having a QR code, a UPI ID, wherein they're having online banking, they're going for mobile payments. This is how the development is happening with the digital transformation. We have cryptocurrencies, which are making sure that our payments are safe and secure. Then we have regulatory changes. As we are moving towards digitization, we are more focusing on the reforms and regulations which are driving stability and innovation into this. We have also seen an uprise in the investment trends. So, increase in institutional and retail investor participation has suddenly increased. We see IPOs getting launched in India. We are seeing stock markets getting hiked up. And nowadays, we are seeing small businesses turning into unicorns, all because of these powerful investments that are happening. So, as mentioned, for the example, we have fintech, digital wallets, and we have peer to peer lending. So, apart from these things that we see in nowadays, like we have UPI IDs, QR scanner, we have peer to peer lending as well. So, fintech innovations like digital wallets have revolutionized the payments. No doubt they are revolutionizing the payments, and they are offering us a secure gateway and more convenient ways to do the payment. But emphasizing on peer-to-peer lending platforms, so this has enabled us and has actually disrupted the most traditional part of lending. So it enables individuals to directly lend, bypassing the needs of banking and financial institutions. Then we have blockchain and cryptocurrencies. And we know as the transactions are revolutionizing, we need more security, we need more safety regarding those payments. For this, we have blockchain and cryptocurrencies. Then we have artificial intelligence and big data. So with everything automating, we have frauds happening, and the safety part is a bit lagging. So we then go forward for fraud detection, predictive and analytics in investment. We are using artificial intelligence to detect whether we have a particular payment is going to a safe place or not. Google Pay has currently launched whether it alerts you when there is a scam or fraud alert for the fraud detection part. So they're using AI and big data for it. Predictive analytics is helping many investors to invest in a proper way. Moving on, we have the challenges. So the key challenges in financial sector, according to me, are we have regulatory compliance. So complex and changing regulatory environments are across the world, and we need to update our compliance issues which are already there. We have cybersecurity threats. So as we are moving towards digitization, that is having us increased risk of cyber attacks. We have frauds and safety alerts being passed on. Then we have economic uncertainty. So impact of inflation and market volatility plays a major role, and this is the major challenge that is being faced all across the world. Then coming on, we have talent shortage in technological world. So yes, we do have digitization moving ahead, but we also have a talent shortage in technological world. The demand for highly skilled professionals is rising day by day. We need professionals which have data science knowledge, AI and machine learning knowledge to overcome these challenges in the financial sector. Coming on to the main part of the session, what are the career opportunities today that we see in financial sector? So talking about the career opportunities, we have traditional roles. So traditional roles, as we know, are investment banking, financial analyst, tax analyst, wealth management. We have risk roles as well. So these are the core traditional roles which have been part of financial sector for so long. But coming on nowadays, as everything is emerging, we have the technical roles as well. Technical roles involve blockchain developer, data scientists. We have financial entrepreneurs who are investing into fintechs. We have tech specified roles, which are cybersecurity specialist, AI, machine learning expert, and such. Here, I'll more focus on the sustainable finance. So, here we have roles in ESG investment, green bonds, sustainable fund, and management. I think sustainable finance has been focusing on directly on the capital growth these days, because the investment that we see is directly that is actually focusing on the environmental part, social part, and the government's part. So ESG investing integrates stability, sustainability factors into investing into climate saving, addressing climate change, and all the sustainable funds that we see are being managed. They are being invested for all such climate change activities, and we see more career opportunities currently in this particular role. Coming on to the skills that we need to cope up and become future ready for our financial sector. So we have technical skills. Definitely we do need technical skills, that is data analysis, machine learning, blockchain development. Soft skills, I'll say we need communication, problem solving, adaptability, analytical skills. And we have certain traditional certifications that nowadays we need for moving forward, and we should have good knowledge of finance in this, and have a holistic approach to understand the financial sector. So we have CFA, we have FRM, we have MBA in finance, taxation courses, and to add on, you can also go for certifications in AI or machine learning, which will further enhance your profile and help you get selected. Now coming on to the end part, we have seen all about financial sector, we have seen all the challenges, we have seen about the opportunities. We have also seen that financial sector is changing rapidly and technology is driving. So you have to be highly competitive to stay into this. The race for top positions will always occur when you are well equipped with all the kind of you should have financial knowledge, you should have machine learning knowledge, you should have cybersecurity knowledge. So give yourself a holistic profile so that you have better chances of being selected. I'll say you have to tend towards navigating the learning curve. Keep yourself adaptive towards language, towards knowledge, towards technological advancements and market fluctuations, whatever is happening. Be very much into market trends that we see. While there are significant challenges, there are vast career opportunities, I'll say. For those who are willing to learn, market is your ocean, go ahead for it. But the future of finance lies in innovation, adaptability, and sustainability. So keep on to that and keep on learning, keep enhancing your skills, widen your scope, learn through every perspective that's possible. And everything will be possible for you. That's it from my end. Thank you so much. If there are any questions, I'm ready for those.
Definitely. So, what a great session. Thank you so much. Great topic. And we
Thank you.
have a few people on YouTube chat discussing, but let's have the Zoom who raised hand first. Business India. You can open your mic, or this hand was raised by mistake. Okay, that's totally fine. So we have on chat and anyone, if you have any questions, feel free to ready your questions. We'll take care of the YouTube ones. We have Sanyam. Hey Aditi, I have a doubt. What do you think? Will AI create more opportunities in the financial sector, or do you think it will eat up jobs?
Hey, Simran. So I won't say AI, we will be totally dependent over AI. If you have a holistic view, as I mentioned, you should have your financial knowledge, you should have, but you have to keep up with the market trends as well. AI will trigger a problem if you don't have, you lag in one of the skills. Only then AI will turn out to be a problem. Otherwise, you can turn AI into one of the skills by learning it and by making sure that everything I understand you cannot master all the skills. I totally understand that. But I will also say you can learn about it. But AI is not going to take up the jobs for, as far as I know. We need human intervention now in every corporate and coming like I have been into financial industry for past 3 to 4 years. I know that human intervention will be required.
Definitely. All right. And yeah, we have Murtuza on YouTube, but join into Zoom to ask the question. Yes, you raise your hand.
Hey, hi everyone. First of all, thank you for hosting this. Amazing speakers, great insights and everything. Aditi, have been really looking forward to hear from you. It's a great opportunity for us to talk, and especially thank you for putting it on YouTube. A lot of amazing platforms that you guys have used. My question is that looking from a perspective of someone who wants to dive into finance, what are some of the AI tools that you recommend us to get a head start and, cut away the time that we haven't spent in this industry?
So, Murtaza, I'll be saying if you want to upskill yourself, firstly go on to the primary kind of roles. We have Tableau, we have Power BI, which are helping you to keep up. Then we have data rails for FP&A, and we have Planful Predict. These tools are used for forecasting and budgeting. You can also learn languages like Python, which is widely being used for finance.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Murtuza. Great. And okay. Any more questions? Definitely for Aditi. All right. So if you're still thinking as of the moment, we'll try to since we have enough time, we'll try to shortly go back for some questions for Yuka, if that's okay, Aditi. But if any questions come up, we'll go back to Aditi again. So make sure to ready up your questions, or you can put it in chat in advance, definitely. So this was answered already, but I'll read it for the sake of the audience and for those who will be watching the recorded session. So, any thoughts on how can leaders effectively balance empathy with accountability when managing diverse teams? So, I believe you already answered this one in chat, but if you do the honor to, yeah.
Sure. So the question was about managing empathy and accountability. One model of leadership that I strongly recommend is situational leadership. And situational leadership essentially says that every individual is in a different level of development. And I'll give you an example. When, say, you're learning how to drive, the first day before you actually start driving, you're all excited that you're going to get into the car, you'll learn how to drive, and then you'll go here, you'll go there. This is what your life will be like when you're able to drive. And you have a lot of excitement. But the knowledge, the capability of driving is zero at that time. Then you get into the car and you first start driving, you start learning, and then somebody who's instructing you will keep telling you that this is not right, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, look out for traffic, there's traffic signal. And then when you go through all of those experiences, you're like, oh my God, that's too much to do. I didn't know driving can be so hectic. I hate this. I don't know if I'm meant to drive. Maybe I should just take cabs and public transport, but I don't want to do this anymore. So that's your second level of development. And then when you have gone through all of that, now you're a little comfortable. You can drive to places, but maybe not highways. Maybe you can drive on highways, but not long distances. So that's when you're at development level 3, which means now you have the capability and you are also excited and have the enthusiasm, but there's a little bit of that that's missing. And then when you get to a level where it's a long weekend and you want to get a car and drive off to your favorite place, to your favorite destination, and you want to drive everywhere in the world, you love driving, that's when you could get to the development level 4. Now, that means every individual needs different things. We are talking here about we're looking at how we can balance empathy and accountability. So that's what you need to look at. What does the individual need? Do they need empathy at the moment? Do they need accountability at the moment? Do they need clarity? Do they need directions? And when you're giving people what they need, now imagine the person who has never driven is all excited, sits on the driving seat, and instead of telling them that this is the steering wheel, this is the clutch, gear, and how you operate all of this, I tell them, yes, you can do it. I believe in you. Do you think that person is ever going to drive? They won't. So they need directions at that moment. And as leaders, most often we miss giving directions because we've been taught this over and over again that you need to have empathy, you need to be nice to people, you need to let people control, or you're a micromanager. No, that's not true. You're micromanaging when you're managing and giving directions to somebody who knows how to do it. But to be empathetic and to create that accountability, you need to see what the person needs. If they need directions, give them directions. If they know how to do it and they are not feeling confident about it, then you add to their confidence through appreciation by reminding them of past successes. And that's how you create that balance. But foremost is setting the goals right. If you've set the goals right and evaluated the development level of the individual on this goal, I think you can do wonders. Then you know where you need empathy and where you need to create accountability because you're all working towards a common goal. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Yuka. I hope for Simeon that cleared the query. And okay, we are still waiting for any inputs and additional questions for Aditi as well. And let's see. Okay. Oh, Another question for Yukta. In terms of leadership and technology, how can leaders prepare their teams for a future shaped by AI, automation, and global challenges?
That's a very interesting question and something that keeps coming up again and again. I always recommend leaders to differentiate between skills and uniquely human skills. There are some things that only humans can do. For example, empathizing from the previous question that we had. You cannot expect the machines to empathize. However, the narratives that are being created these days, I don't know how many of you watched this movie. I think it was about the robot becoming a mother of a child in the in some future, distant future world and taking care of the child like a mother and being empathetic. But those are narratives as of today. Could the world reach there? Maybe. Should humans just be biological backups for the robots? Probably not. But how are you going to help your team get there? One is not having the fear of technology, but embracing it. I think Aditi had great points when she was talking about her piece, where she was talking about AI and the amount of technology that is coming into finance. Now, if you go back 50 years, people would sit with registers and they would write everything down on a register and they would have tables there. And now everything is automated. Does that scare people? No, because now people are getting into newer ways of managing finance, newer ways of saving money, and there are newer policies that are coming in. So a lot of scope is there in the future. And when you're looking at how do you manage your team, or especially how do you prepare your team for future with AI and automation, I think the answer is in embracing it. You've got to embrace it. You've got to say yes to it. And you've got to see what are things that you can do uniquely. Because I've worked with ChatGPT, and trust me, it frustrates me sometimes because it has its own brain and it'll give you some solutions that may be right, may not be right, and then it just cannot do what a human does. So sitting with somebody, brainstorming with them is very different. And if I'm open to it and I've tested these AI technologies, then it also makes you feel more comfortable. I see Aditi has a hand raised. Aditi, do you have something to add to this?
Yeah, Yukta, definitely I have something to add on. I would like to say, Sayam asked me a question already about AI taking up the financial sector jobs. Will it eat it up or not? So, as Yukta already said, we need to learn to adapt to it rather than thinking it to be a con for us, that how AI is going to transform it. Think it to be a beneficial part, how you can drive it. Means it will definitely spur innovation. It will create entirely new business models for you. But you cannot say that AI will end up taking up your jobs. You will have enormous roles like AI system developers, data scientists, AI financial analysts. All these roles will be open for you. You just need to adapt, upskill yourself, and collaborate with AI rather than thinking it a threat. Try to unlock it to the full potential and make it an opportunity.
That is truly agreeable. And now that it is brought up, like, can you share, Aditi, like your journey when you started, and then the moment you have adapted to the new technology right now, like how did it change your role or your responsibilities?
So yeah, Phil, definitely I would like to add on. So I completed my MBA in 2022 itself. I was offered a job as a data analyst. I already took up that job, but I had the nag of continuously learning something. So I participated in an EY competition, that is taxes. That was Taxpert, how international level competition. Taxpert was the name for it. And I didn't have a lot of knowledge about tax, but I did have very powerful knowledge about finance. I used to help my dad doing taxes and GST in India, so I thought, why not give it a try? And when I started doing it, I thereon got on to like primary level. I passed on from city to state to national, and then I was representing India somehow. So that is how I my main aim was not just to participate into a competition, but rather learn Because I remember that was the COVID era going on, and I didn't wanted to waste my time. I always thought it's COVID time. I am getting the best. I have to upskill myself, learn new knowledge, learn whatever is happening, and I think that perspective helped me a lot. And the day I got into that, I became tax expert of the year. That day EY offered me a job as tax analyst as well. So having no knowledge of tax and then learning through this journey, so you should have that nag of continuously learning, that I'll emphasize. And then I explored further on, and then I moved on to being a financial analyst. So every skill has been adding up to my resume.
All right. That's very inspiring. Really wonderful. Thank you for sharing that one. And yeah, we have from Sandy. I'm curious, is it possible that fintech startups leveraging AI will disrupt traditional financial institutions?
I'll yeah. So fintech startups leveraging AI will disrupt traditional financial institutions or not? I think, like I've already given an example of peer-to-peer lending, like how it has already bypassed the need of banks. But coming on to the startup part, definitely it will have a leverage, because see, AI, it will have AI, it will give us frictionless transactions. There will be micro lending, peer-to-peer lending. It will help us making means the financial models will be more decentralized. It will have AI powered analytics and insights. So yeah, there is a point wherein fintech startups will be leveraging through AI, but they will be disrupting, according to me, they will be disrupting the traditional financial institutions, because they will offer more personalized, efficient, and cost effective services to the customer. And that will have another inclination towards those. So this will definitely be a challenge for banks and financial firms to cope up with these things.
All right. I hope that cleared up the question to Sandy. Thank you.
Thank you,
All
Sandy.
right.
I
And,
totally agree with you.
all right. Perfect. All right. Any more questions? You can type it in definitely, or you can raise your hand. So both speakers are very open with the question and answer definitely. So make sure you take advantage of this free portion. Like it's a free consultation somehow if you have any additional questions, definitely. And this will give you additional insights from the seasoned professionals that we have today. And while we are waiting, Aditi, you can actually promote anything that's coming up or you are working on anything you'd like to promote.
I am currently working on the income tax part of Indian income tax system. So I have nothing as a product to promote, but I will rather say, I already said that you have to keep on upskilling yourselves. There are many Udemy courses that we are going through, and I'll definitely put on links if somebody wants it. Please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I have certain links to certain courses through which you can enhance your profile, and that will help you to explore more financial sector.
All right, that's very thoughtful. Thank you. And yeah, make sure you connect to Aditi on LinkedIn, same as Yukta. So they're very approachable. When you send them a message, they'll definitely reply. Yeah, almost immediately. Of course, they have some busy hours as well. All right, and what a great session. Thank you. Okay. And if you like, or you actually learned from these sessions that we have previous sessions as well, and those who have watched live, um, feel free to share the recorded session to social media platforms. So that's also to help our guest speakers to have more visibility and definitely be invited to more insightful like webinars as well online, and they can provide additional value to for the great cause. All right. I guess you have taken care of the queries that we have today. So, any final words you'd like to share before we close the session for both Yukta and Aditi?
I could go ahead. Learning and growing is one thing, like Aditi also said, that's the most important thing in life. And this is a great initiative, bringing this session to people and taking that some time out of your busy schedule on a Wednesday and sitting down to listen to something that is outside of your work sphere and learning something, because learning is never wasted. That's one thing. Energy could be wasted, money could be wasted, but learning can never be wasted. If you learn something, it will help you someday. And I strongly believe that when you learn something, you may not see the application today, in next few years or something, but in 10 years, 12 years, 20 years, someday you will see that you're able to do something today because you learned something so many years ago. So it's always nice to sit through these sessions and learn. I learned a lot today from Aditi's session as well. Finance is something that I'm absolutely scared of, and it's nice to see that there are people who love it and who know how to grow in it. So that was a great session, and this is a great opportunity for everyone. I am sending my LinkedIn profile on the chat again in case anybody wants to connect and talk more about leadership, various leadership models, what works for you, how you grow in your career. Do feel free to reach out. And especially if you're a woman in leadership or looking to move into leadership, that's my forte. That's the area that I work on extensively too. So do reach out and we can connect. Thank you.
Thank you. And yeah, go ahead, Aditi.
Yeah. So my insight from today will be, Yukta, thank you so much. That was quite informative session from your end. I have learned a lot about leadership, and I really like the example of Mahabharat as you quoted. My last quote for today would be, adapt and keep fueling yourself to grow further. That's
All
it. And if you have any questions, do reach me out. I'm always available for everyone. That's it from my
all right. So thank you, ladies, very empowered women. And thank you for willingly joining in or agreeing to join in this free webinar in order to share free knowledge to anyone who loves learning, definitely. So whatever we have discussed today, if it's a new learning or if you already know, but definitely this type of sessions will remind you of what you have learned and keep you still, and also know that knowledge can be in any form. So make sure you join the sessions or you share the sessions for the benefit of everyone. And if you wish to be part of Let Us Talk at Zipinar, you can visit our website www.letustalkit.com and give us a nudge. You can put there an email if you want to be a guest speaker or if you just want to join. We post uh, weekly Zipiners in our website and on YouTube as well. So you can join and interact with our speakers. And again, many thanks to each and everyone who attended and who joined us on live session as well. And great thanks to our guest speakers for today for definitely bringing insightful session. So again, Yukta, thank you, and Aditi, thank you, and
Thank
make
you,
sure to
Phil.
connect with these ladies. All right, right after the session. And yes, moving forward, we are closing the Zipinar today, and we are inviting you again next Wednesday, the same time, 12 noon to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure to join us, and we'll bring you two new topics and two new guest speakers. All right. So we are closing for now. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care as always, and goodbye for now. See you again.